It's time for the second test between India and Australia. Will India level up or will Australia stay in the lead? Welcome everyone, I am Shruti Chopra, the Tarot Reader, and I have with me our cricket blogger and analyst, Suneer Chowdhary. Hey Suneer, how's it going?
Going well for me. I don't know whether it's going as well for the Indian team, but I'm sure they'll want to come back with a bang and level the series in the second test match.
I am very sure too. So, Suneer, it's fair to say this will be one of the biggest test matches of the season for India. An unexpected loss and at the same time a defeat that will sting India quite hard. A 333-run loss and one in which they seem to have batted, bowled and fielded quite poorly.
Was a rout in more ways than one, Shruti, wasn't it? What makes it worse for India is that they were caught in their own web. It was not as if they were touring abroad and they faced a green pitch or a hard and a bouncy surface. They fell to the Aussie spinners on a surface that turned square from very early in the game, and it was also interesting to see that the pitch was reported by the match referee as poor, and it still went against the hosts, which obviously had a part to play in the making of that surface. It's a rarity in itself that the pitch is deemed as poor and the home team goes down in a test match. Coming back to what you said, India bowled reasonably well in the first innings, but it all went downhill after that. Mitchell Starc's final blast with the bat played its part, that 10th wicket partnership with Josh Hazlewood adding more than 50. But as I had even said before, in our post-match talking point episode, I don't think the surface was as bad as India made it out to be when they batted in the first innings. And I think that's where things started to go wrong.
So what actually did go wrong for them and how do they resurrect that going into the second test in Bengaluru?
Look, in that batting display in the first innings, I suppose India was shocked by the pitch more than they thought they would be. Because of their lack of preparation, I would say, on a pitch of that nature. Look, India has been batting on batting-friendly pitches all this season against New Zealand, England and Bangladesh, scoring those 600 plus, 700 plus scores. And suddenly they encounter a surface like this that would have been akin to a deer in front of headlights, caught unaware, but unlike the situation that the deer faces, those headlights were of their own car, which makes it worse, obviously. You asked me how did they change it around? Well, I think now that the initial surprise has gone past them, I would like to think that they'll bat a lot better against their wreckers-in-chief, Steve O'Keefe and Nathan Lyon. More attempts to play at the line of the ball and allow it to spin past them rather than going after the spin, much like how Steven Smith and company did against Ravindra Jadeja. And they will be wary of the fast bowlers as well because the pitch does not turn a lot and it has a bit of bounce like how the Bangalore pitch usually does. And Mitchell Starc and Josh Hazlewood might just come into their own. So batting would be the key. I think they bowled reasonably well. The fielding needs to take a big leap forward after all those drop catches in the first match.
Suneer, I want to bring you back to your favorite discussion, and it's about test match pitches. The ICC has come down heavily on the Pune pitch, with match referee Chris Broad terming it as poor. How do you rate the Pune pitch?
I'm a huge fan of bowling-friendly surfaces, Shruti. I believe they produce a much better contested test match. And if countries all over the world started producing bowler-friendly pitches, we will see 3-day test matches to begin with, as was the case in Pune. But batsmen do adapt quickly, and they will steadily and reasonably quickly adapt to those situations, and things will get back to normal even on those surfaces. Look, in the 80s and early 90s, there were a lot of these pitches. In Australia, there were a lot of bouncy pitches. Wacker had a lot of cracks going into the third and the fourth day. South African pitches were difficult to bat on in the 90s. And so was the case all across the world. New Zealand had a lot of swing and seam. England, the same. England pitches still offer a lot of swing and seam, to be fair. But all that changed. In the last 10 years or so, pitches have become very batting friendly, and that I think has been one of the reasons why Test cricket faces a lot of issues with respect to the format. I think once they get back to becoming bowling friendly, a lot will change and batsmen will adapt themselves to be playing on those conditions. Look, between a flat 600 versus 500 kind of a score on a pitch and a Pune-like surface, I'll any day go for the Pune-like surface, whatever the ICC or the match referee has to say about it.
And how do you expect this Bengaluru surface to behave then?
Bit of a mystery there. Not a lot of people know how the surface will behave. Probably even the curator doesn't know what he's going to do one day before the match, if he gets any instructions from the home team or no. But as far as this pitch is concerned, contradictory reports are also coming in from everywhere. There has been a spotting of grass on the surface from a few people. I saw a picture of it on Twitter, and I think there is a bit of grass, but that's 2 days before the test match. There are others who have pointed out a few barren areas in some part. So there are a few grassy surfaces and a few barren areas. I just would say that we would only be able to take stock of the situation once the test match begins. But I doubt India will want to repeat the Pune surface for this match as well. It becomes a bit of a lottery for the home side, especially given they have quality spinners and Ashwin and Jadeja who can take wickets on a slow turner as well. They, in fact, prefer slow turners and flatter surfaces at home, and the curators will not want to be sanctioned yet again by the ICC, like was the case in that first test match. But I think there's a good chance that we see somewhat of a flatter surface for the batsmen, and one that will afford turn as a game goes on. Mind you, Australia won't mind that either. They have some good batsmen who can make life miserable for the bowlers on easy surfaces. So all in all, it's an interesting lead up to the game, and I would like to hear what the two captains say at their pre-match press conference, which happens about 24 hours before the game begins.
Suneer, Australia will be quite chuffed with their showing in the first game. Do you see them do anything differently, either in their approach or in their selection?
Well, Australia would have come into the series with all that preparation done in Dubai, but in the end, it was always going to be the result in the opening game that mattered, and the rest of the series, in fact, that mattered. And had they lost that opener, it might have been a serious dent in their morale. Remember, they were coming into the series with all those test matches lost in Asia in recent times. Now, with all the confidence behind them from that win in Pune, a pounding 333 run defeat of India, they will know they can more than compete in these conditions, and might well have rattled the home side. Another good day in the office, and India will have their backs to the wall. Say Australia win the toss again and rattle up, say 270 for 4 at the end of the first day. You do know that India would be in some kind of trouble. As far as their approach or selection is concerned, I doubt they'll want to make too many changes to their to that winning feeling or a winning combination that they have. If the Pune pitch didn't necessitate them to play Glenn Maxwell as a third spinner, I don't think they'll want to change things around, and Mitchell Marsh might just get another go. He played an important hand of 31 in the second innings as well on that dry surface. There's one question mark about Sean Marsh, whether he'll be given another chance or whether Usman Khwaja will be brought in. Well, it's a toss-up, but if you've gone in with a batsman who played in the first Test match because of his better credentials against spin bowling, then you don't want to drop that guy after just one game, especially given that they have won the game. So I would personally not want to make any changes to the Australian team.
And India, any changes to their lineup?
I'd even tweeted this earlier for a captain who makes changes to the side even when the side is on a roll, and they were unbeaten for 19 Test matches, a few of them draws, but most of them he won. It would be interesting if he didn't make any changes when the team has lost a Test match. See, Jayant Yadav's place in the side might be in some jeopardy after his poor showing last game, but if this is a much better batting surface in Bangalore than the one in Pune, I think India might still resist the temptation to play Karun Nair in place of Jayant Yadav. They will need a fifth bowler to be able to rotate things around when the going gets tough, and that's how they've been winning Test matches at home when the surfaces have been batting friendly. At best, I can see India bring in another bowler for Jayant Yadav if Jayant Yadav's confidence has taken a bit of a hit. But apart from that, there's one other change that if the surface demands, they might get a Bhuvneshwar Kumar in place of Ishant Sharma. But I would still go in with a 6 batsman, 5 bowler strategy if the surface in Bangalore is looking the way it is.
Yep, well, it all depends on how the pitch is. But I would really, really love to know what your prediction is for this match.
I would still go with India winning the Test match, but I think this Test match will also see toss play a crucial role again. And if Australia can win the toss and bat the first day the way they did in the first Test match, well, this could be another one where Australia surprised a lot of us. Your call, Shruti. You've been itching to give your prediction, I'm pretty sure. So, you think India can level the series, or will this go the same way that we'd seen the 2004 series go?
Sunil, I am always itching to give my prediction, but I'll say what I said last time. Australia will compete. There is immense confidence in their approach to their game, but I do find their batting not holding up as well as it can. Whereas India obviously come into this match feeling a little dented, but it won't take them long to adjust themselves, regain balance, and do well with the bat and ball. But their opening partnership, especially in the first innings, may not be so fruitful. Now, to my tarot advantage, it is India.
Well, the opening combination for India has been struggling for some time now, and we'd like to see how they go about in this test. But that is it from us. We will be back very soon with some of the talking points at the end of almost every day in the second test match between India and Australia. But till then, have a good day and do subscribe to our channel, or you can follow us on Twitter if you're a Twitter person at World Cricket Chat. That's it from us. Bye bye.